So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Sun and Mars conjunction in the 7th house of your birth chart. As in, what happens when Sun and Mars are together in one house, which is the 7th house in your horoscope. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this particular conjunction and what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, along with all your other astrological details, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, constellations, and link to my academy, Maga Vedic Astrology Academy. So, let's talk about Sun Mars in the 7th house of your horoscope. So, what is the 7th house, first of all? 7th house is the house of marriage, partnership, unionship, business, other people. It's a house of promotions, house of status. Why would it be a house of status? Well, 7th house is the bhavat bhavam of the 10th. It's the 10th from the 10th. So, whenever you see planets in the 7th house, they will hold a very strong significance towards your reputation, towards the highs and lows of your life. It can be a kingmaker, it can be a servant maker. Now, you have Sun and Mars in the 7th house, two very strong masculine planets, okay, sitting in the house of the spouse, house of the other people. So, one thing you will notice is that regardless of if you're a man or woman, you're going to get a very masculine spouse. You're going to get somebody extremely headstrong, somebody who will be very rigid. Because sometimes they could be very fatalistic in their approach to life and very fatalistic in their thinking. And especially if you have this in the fire signs and even air signs, oh boy, you just know. I mean, you will. I don't care if you have gone through four boyfriends or 10 girlfriends, whomever you end up with, they're going to be strong. Like, they're going to be like, I am the one in charge. And anytime you order me around, I feel pushed back. See, such people will give you orders, and you may actually obey their orders. You know, like at the ceremony in a marriage, a priest or a pandit will tell the husband, she's the boss, and you better listen if you want to make this work. Okay, they tell you right away before you sign that contract. So even if let's say you're listening to them, you follow what they say, you know, you do your part in a very balanced manner. But when you tell them that, hey, can you do this? No, you did this wrong. They will have this defense outburst. Like, well, what about you with this? What about you with that? Because imagine you as an individual, okay? You are you. And here in front of you, you've got the king and the general standing. And you're telling the king you're wrong? You're telling the king to do something? They're going to be irritated. They're going to be irritated. And when you have this particular placement in the birth chart, not any other chart, because it may mean completely different scenario in a different chart. But with Sun and Mars in the 7th house, you will see a lot of either dramatic opposition from other people in the world, or you will have support like the army to the king. It is one or the other. Either these people have the full support of the public and the crowd, or the crowd is just out to get them. The crowd becomes the vigilante. And this is where you have to see how well these planets are placed, because neither one of them are getting directional strength in this particular house. Neither one of them are really friends with the original owner of this house, which is Venus. So, and then naturally, Sun feels debilitated in the 7th house. So your part of your soul's karma is being forced to listen, being forced to not have respect from your partner. Also, this placement brings major karma with the father. Father may not be happy with your marriage. But one thing we see is that you become excellent communicator. And I'm not talking about your spouse, I'm talking about you who have this conjunction. When you communicate, you will get promotions, become a leader through communication, through your speech, through your talking style. And you will never get along with your bosses, ever. You will get irritated by people. You may actually have a very nice boss. You may have a boss who you just respect, but you will just won't be able to handle the fact that they are your boss. This is also the individual who will always talk against the government. No matter what the government does, they can never trust the government. However, you will find this individual being very close to their mother. Their confidence and anchor point became the mother. Now, because these are two malefic planets, but these are very peculiar malefic planets. Like if you wanted to know, will this particular conjunction delay the marriage? I can confidently say it will delay the marriage, because I have seen early marriages. And I was shocked myself. I'm like, wow, early marriage. But of course, you can't just determine the whole person's destiny by just two planetary placement in the 7th house. You have to look at the whole thing. So I have seen early, medium, late marriages with this. It just is one of those things that even though a person is getting married early, it may not be the most happiest marriage. And remember, Mars here will show it will pierce your heart in marriage or relationship once in life. Once in life. And this is why one thing I would recommend, but again, what is destined to be, destined to be. After 28, you should go for marriage or even relationships. Until Mars matures, this is not the placement to engage in long-term relationship. You should get into a relationship, experience the romance, experience the downfall and uphills of the relationship and love. But don't fall so deep that when it doesn't work out before 28, that it cuts you in half. And one thing I will also say, business. I've seen business, people who only want to do business, people who become successful in business. Because what happens is, these two particular planets, the independent planets, I forgot the name of the planets, I think it's called Nesagya Graha, but these are independent planets looking at the Lagna, looking at the ascendant. It makes you independent. And this is why that conflict comes in. You are independent, but obviously your partner and counterpart will also be independent. And there's a theme with this, 2 chiefs and no Indians. You have 2 chiefs, and the one is trying to make the other one the Indian so they can rule over them. They can become the chief. And it never works that way. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Sun, Mars in the 7th house of your birth chart. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss these type of videos. And if you want to know where your Sun and Mars are placed, all your astrological details, check out the links here, along with my academy, Maga Vedic Astrology Academy, where I teach nakshatras and everything related to Vedic astrology. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.